Hello, my friends. I hope you guys are doing well today. I am here today to talk to you about one of the biggest ways that we sabotage ourselves during this holiday season. So should be kind of interesting, right? There are many ways that we sabotage ourselves during the holiday season, and I could probably write a super long list of the ways that I have done it myself or have had clients sabotage their goals and all that kind of stuff during this season. But this video is just going to focus on one of them. And this one I think is one of the most important because it affects just about everything else in our lives. So it's not just affecting our goals, our fitness goals. And, we sabotage ourselves this way during this time of year, but also throughout the year as well, for many of us. So what is this way, you're asking? Well, one of the biggest ways that you can sabotage yourself, your fitness and wellness goals over the holiday season, is by not getting enough sleep. Okay. That's because being overtired or sleep deprived sets off like a chain reaction of events that affect our bodies and almost everything from like our mood to our appetite to our metabolism and even to our immune system. So a lack of sleep is not just, oh, I feel tired because I didn't get enough sleep. It's a lot more than that. So that's why, as often as possible, it's really important to try to go to bed at an early enough time so that you get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Now, I know a lot of people say, I had a friend in college who was like, totally fine with 4 hours of sleep. I can totally function with 4 hours of sleep, no big problem. I do it all the time, and I'm willing to bet she probably still functions on that little sleep. But I'm hoping not. I've lost contact with her. I'm hoping not, because there's a lot of stuff that happens when we are sleep deprived, and most of it's not good. So although you may tell me I'm totally fine functioning on 4 or 5 hours of sleep, I'm going to ask you to try to get a little more sleep if possible, okay? And now some of you may need more than 7 or 8 hours of sleep. I function better with like 9 hours of sleep. So I go to bed fairly early because I know that if I want to be alert and ready for the coming day, I need to get at least 9 hours of sleep. So I am a big believer of knowing the why behind things. So I'm going to give you a list of 9 things that happen when you don't get enough sleep. Some of these you're probably going to be like, yeah, I've heard that, or that makes sense. Some of them might be totally off the wall and something you've never thought of before. So number 1, if you don't get enough sleep, you might feel angry, depressed, or anxious. So if you're already an anxious person or you have a history of depression, not getting enough sleep can worsen those feelings, okay? So if you find yourself in a really, really bad mood and you know that the night before you didn't get a lot of sleep, it could be because you didn't get enough sleep. Number 2, if you don't get enough sleep, your willpower goes down the drain. So if you see a plate of your favorite sugar holiday cookies sitting on the table, and maybe if you've gotten enough sleep, you can just walk right past them and not pick one up. If you're overtired or sleep deprived, you're more likely to pick it up because you're not going to have as much willpower to keep yourself from doing that. Number 3, it's also harder to focus and learn. So, the learning, we're learning things all the time, but if you think about our kids, I know I used to always tell my students back when I was teaching, the night before a big test, make sure you get lots of sleep, eat a healthy breakfast, that whole thing. And it's really true, because if you're sleep deprived, you're not going to be able to focus as well or learn what somebody's trying to teach you. So this isn't just for children, it's for adults too, because we have to focus in our jobs. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you have to be able to focus on your children, right? So getting enough sleep can help you with your focus and your learning. Number 4, you tend to be more accident prone when you don't get enough sleep. So this can definitely turn into a bigger issue as we age, and we already don't have, the same amount of balance that we had when we were younger and all that kind of stuff. So, the last thing we want to do is injure ourselves. So you don't typically associate, getting injured with sleep deprivation, but when you are sleep deprived, you're a lot more accident prone. So you might trip over something because you didn't see it laying on the floor. Number 5, your hunger hormones are out of balance. So you'll either feel hungrier than normal, or you'll have a harder time feeling full, or both. So this is kind of a big one for my clients, right? Because we're focusing a lot on trying to keep ourselves feeling full on healthy foods. So if you're tired and you're unable to feel full at the end of a meal because you're tired, you may then reach for those sugary desserts afterwards, or whatever the case might be. So, and same thing, you might notice that you're just hungrier than normal on a particular day. And sometimes that can be attributed to lack of sleep. Got my list up on the wall behind me so I don't forget any of these 9, because there's no way I can remember all 9 of them. What are we at? We're on number 6. Your sex drive can go down as well, okay? Lack of sleep affects all of our hormones. Number 7, it can affect your immune system. So this is like a huge biggie right now, especially right now. I mean, it's always, important, we don't want to get sick, right? But especially now with the time that we're in with COVID, and now we're in flu season too, and cold season, and all of those. And my family right now is in the midst of quarantining ourselves. So you want to try to keep your immune system as strong as possible, right? And getting enough sleep will ensure that you can do that. Number 8, it can affect your skin's health. So as we age, we tend to worry about all those wrinkles that we're seeing, right? Well, the more sleep deprived you are, the worse your skin's gonna look, right? So if you want that young, youthful, glowing skin, yeah, you can put on your creams and lotions and serums and all that stuff. But if you're not getting enough sleep, those aren't going to help as much as you might want them to. Okay, and then number 9, last but certainly not least, is the fact that it is bad for our hearts. Okay, not getting enough sleep is bad for your heart. And chronic sleep deprivation, which is not getting enough sleep for long periods of time. So, acute sleep deprivation would be like a night or 2 of bad sleep. But chronic is just when you're constantly not getting enough sleep, like the friend I mentioned in college. She had to be chronically sleep deprived. Chronic sleep deprivation is linked with cancers and diabetes, a lot of really bad diseases. So if that doesn't make you want to get more sleep, then hopefully one of the other 8 will. But I think number 9 is probably the most important, because it's our health. And we only get one body, and we need to take care of it. And a really easy way to do that is by getting enough sleep. And I know as we age, we tend to get more and more issues with being able to fall asleep, or not being able to fall back asleep after, waking up in the middle of the night. So your sleep hygiene and creating healthy sleep habits is super, super important. And, when my clients and I work together, I'm constantly asking them, what is your sleep like? How can we improve your sleep so that you can improve your health, right? So lots of ways to improve your sleep. One of my favorite things to do if I'm having trouble falling asleep is to do a meditation. So one of my favorites for falling asleep is called Yoga Nidra, Nidra. It's like a magic elixir to get you to fall asleep. It really is great. So if you've never done a yoga nidra, like you're not actually doing yoga, you're not moving around, stretching, you're laying in bed, and it's kind of, you're bringing your consciousness to different parts of your body, and it just causes you to relax and be ready to fall asleep. In fact, I did it last night because the past couple of nights I've had trouble falling asleep, and I fell asleep very, very quickly after doing that yoga nidra. Also, creating a nightly sleep routine so that your body is ready to go to bed. I remember when my girls were little, one of the main things all the books and internet said to help your kids sleep was to create a sleep routine. So I would do it for my kids, right? So we can do that for ourselves too. Have a nightly routine to get you ready. Also, the temperature in your room is crucial. You don't want to be too hot. You don't want to be too cold. So finding that right temperature for you. And I know it can be challenging, if you're sharing the room with your significant other and they have the opposite temperature that you do. But that's a big one. Noise reduction. You can use sound machines if you live somewhere where it's super noisy in the evenings. Lots and lots of things that you can do to help you improve your sleep hygiene, which can then help you improve a lot of other parts of your life, like your willpower and your feelings of hunger, and your focus and your feelings of anxiety or depression, the health of your skin, all of those things that I've mentioned. And of course, most of all, your heart health, right? Which is probably the most important. Okay, so obviously life happens and sometimes we don't get as much sleep as we need, but really try to be mindful of making time for it and setting yourself up for that great night of sleep with your regular healthy habits. You just being mindful of it goes a long way in helping you get those 7 to 8 hours of sleep. All right. So hopefully that will help. I know, especially around this time of year, getting enough sleep because you've got a lot of things on your list to do, but really try to just be a little bit more mindful of your sleep and maybe even just track how much you're sleeping at night. Can be eye-opening in and of itself. So what I'd love for you to do is if you can let me know, if you know how much sleep you got last night, drop it down in the comments. If you're not sure how much sleep you got last night, then calculate the amount of sleep you get tonight and drop it down in the comments. I'd really love to see how much sleep you are getting. And I'm happy to help you come up with ways to help improve your sleep if you need to. All right, so I hope this list helps you stay on track over the holidays, getting that sleep in. One of the best tips I ever heard was when you're creating your weekly calendar and you're putting in all your to-dos, put your sleep in first, okay? Block that time off and have it in your calendar. I know it sounds silly, like, well, obviously we're gonna be sleeping from, 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. or whatever it might be. But block it in there. And then that way, you'll get that reminder on your phone of, oh, it's time to go to sleep, right? And you won't put anything else in there that's not as necessary, because sleep is necessary. Sleep is important for you, for your health. for your happiness. So schedule sleep into your calendar. All right. All right, and then if you want other tips to help you get through these holidays, don't forget that I am doing my free 5-day weight loss kickstart starting next Monday. So it'll be Monday through Friday. It's at 12 p.m. Central Time. But if you can't join it live, I will be doing a replay or like a watch party where we can all watch it at 8 p.m. Central Time, okay? So I'll be able to answer your questions in real time during that 8 p.m. one as well. And if you can't make either of those times, I know we're super busy, you will, if you sign up for the challenge, you'll get access to the replay page, so you can watch them whenever you have an extra 45 minutes or so in your day. All right, so I will be giving tons and tons of tips, sharing a lot of what I do with my clients, giving a lot of value. I want to help you make this the healthiest holiday season so far, because it is doable. We don't have to give up on our health and fitness goals. If you read my my posts today, my brutally honest post today, then you'll kind of know a little bit more of what I mean. We can stay healthy. We don't have to wait until January to get back to our goals. We don't have to give up on our health and fitness goals. There's never a perfect time to focus on our goals. There just isn't, okay? So if it's important to us, we have to do it now. We don't want to wait until we're in the hospital and somebody's telling us that we have diabetes before we start trying to focus on making ourselves healthier, because that's just going to be even harder at that point. All right, so please join my weight loss kickstart. Promise you're going to learn a ton, and it will help you get through this holiday season. I will drop the link in the comments below so you can sign up for it. It's free, and if you do show up live, I give away fun prizes too. So any other questions, you can just let me know. And again, drop in the comments as well how many hours of sleep you got last night. All right. I hope you're all doing well. Take care. I will see everybody soon.